Wednesday, 27th of August, and it's raining and I'm late, but I want to do a little bit of an experiment. Well, not much of an experiment. I randomly grabbed a razor from my wall. I just thought, why not? So I randomly grabbed a Cadman Bengal Sheffield razor. Haven't used it in some time, and I thought, I wonder if I can get away with a shave without actually testing it or stropping it. Well, I caved in. I did the hanging hair test and it was perfect. So I thought, no, I'm not going to strop it. I'm just going to go straight into a shave. So I'm going to use some of Eric's wonderful concoction, because Eric makes exceedingly nice lathered soap. This is the cow lavash, and it's rather mild compared to some of his wonderful concoctions. So this is a mild, scented, very pleasant, easily lathered soap. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and just say about the Cadman. Cadman&sons, extremely nice, low-priced razors, but they varied slightly in quality, as all things do. And the one I'm going to use now is a little bit different because it's a 3-pinner. So it's actually got 3 pins through the scales, which gives it a bit more stability. And it's usually a sign a little bit higher quality. Also, I got it in fairly good condition. I had to do a little bit of restoration, just a touch here and there. But the main thing was it had a nice straight edge. So I actually put it on a German stone. I'm going to compare that to my last very modern razor and see what the result is. Just to say that old razors can be just as good as the best custom. However, I digress. I was going to do another stainless steel blade shave, and I thought, nah. I just grabbed one off the shelf and thought, come on, let's just do an old Cadman and see what happens there. So there you have it. There's the case. Typical hand-forged Bengal razor, made in Sheffield, England. I have noted on the end that in fact I got this in Yapton, my local junk stall. Wasn't dear, I don't believe. And it's an Escher, on an Escher stone edge. The Escher edges are very highly rated. They are a very nice quality stone, but of course it all depends on the steel. Oh, this is superb. It's our first stroke. Old carbon steel. Very hard to beat. Yeah, that's nice. Again, the steel is one thing. The edge being derived from the stone is another. Yeah, Eschers are an interesting stone. You can't afford, or at least I can't afford big ones. I can't see any. So I got a little one, a little Escher. I did the usual test with it. And yeah, it's smooth. So it's the usual argument, do we put the smoothness down to the stone, or do we put it down to the steel? Probably a mixture of the both. So I'm going to shut up and just do a little bit more shave. Yeah. Very nice, very good quality steel. But the disadvantage with carbon steel is you can't adjust it. It will rust. And unfortunately, there are millions and millions of very high grade carbon steel razors which people have neglected. And the result is almost inevitably going to be rust. And unfortunately, there's nothing much you can do once it goes beyond a certain point. But my argument would be, if you really like a particular maker, Cadman being a nice maker, Sheffield's maker, if you like Cadman and it's got a little bit of dark staining here and there, as long as it's not on the edge, who cares? you're not shaving with the spine of the blade. But this one's got a tiny bit, just a tiny bit of rust. Or had. Oh, this is such a comfortable shave. Much as I like experimenting with stainless steel, you still can't beat a carbon blade. Depending on the maker and the edge. I'm going to have to get back to doing some more older blades up. I won't bore you to tears, but I met a gentleman at the Ford and Yapton market about 2 years ago. And he had a huge collection of razors, which over the years, attending markets mostly, I think, he bought. And I thought, well, look, mate, you know, let's not mess about. I'll come around your house, you drag them out, and I'll buy what I can. So I did. And it was about that time. We have an expression in the UK. The post office are politically correct wankers, and they decided to stop knife crime. They wouldn't have any more razors in the post. It was about the same time I bought his collection that they brought in their restriction, complete ban on shipping through the Royal Mail any razors. There are ways around it, I'm sure, but I can't be asked, to be honest. What I've got will do me for my lifetime and 10 other people's. Now look at that for a thin but very nice light. Isn't that thin? Thin and slippery. That's what I like. Just like my girls. Thin and slippery. Anyway, see how easy that is? Against the grain, no resistance at all. Yeah, I'm going to put this one as a very, 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 very good edge and a very good old razor. Pick them up cheap as chips, especially as now you can't post them. Yeah, it's hard living in a gay country, but there you go. We get what we deserve. We elected a Labour government, and well, you've seen Starmer when he's been talking against a real man like Trump, and it's pathetic. But there you go. We're not here to discuss politics. But there might be a resurgence of manliness in this strange world. There may be. People may think it's worth learning a trade. They may think it's worth learning how to shave. For those that haven't, how sad. I mean, this is a joy. Absolute. It's spiritual, physical, manly, all the things that we should be. Yeah, I could do this for hours. This is really good. What a lovely, lovely, happy coincidence to have dug out from a small pile of razors, which I haven't used for a while. This one was on top. I grabbed this one. Just to show you the difference, that's got 3 pins. And as you can see, the 3 pins usually denote a little bit more care. You see the spacer? It keeps the scales apart a little better. Also, which is slightly unusual for a Cadman, I've got 2 or 3 similar, but this one has a beautiful etching. Can you see that? That says, "Hollow, finest ground." What I didn't like was the fact the Bengal stamp is quite, relatively speaking, crude. When I say crude, you can tell by the date as well, it hasn't got any of the little floral ends to the lettering, which usually denotes it's in the latter part of the 20th century. So this one could be 1930, 1950. Don't know. But you can tell by the R. Cadman&sons, Sheffield, England, on the other side of the tang. There's no serifs. The serifs being the little wavy bits on the end of the letters. If there's no serifs, you know bloody well that it's usually a little bit late. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I think for now that will do me. It's a wet morning. I'm not going to go out chasing things. I'm just going to do a comfortable shave, which I just had. Oh, now I just have a little word about my negligence of not watching enough people on YouTube. Do forgive me, chaps. The list is the length of my arm for people I should be following, and I normally do. But it's been a strange summer, and I've been doing other things. Oh, I did watch Josh, Cutthroat Goat. Very, very, very inventive gentleman, I've got to say. Anyway, chaps, that's it. What should I put on? I know, I'm going to put on a little bit of Cella, because I've just used Cella soap again. This stuff's quite kind. Not that it needs to be. That was a bloody good shave, to be honest. Yeah, faultless. Do try to use both hands, not on both hands for shaving, just in case. If you have an accident and you hurt your finger, your thumb, your arm, you can easily shave with one hand. But if you just only use, say, your right arm to shave with, then if you screw that up, you're not going to be able to shave. Anyway, enough of that strange ridiculousness. Thanks, chaps, for watching, and do subscribe if you haven't already. Martin's Test Shaves. Over and out.